So over the course of competing in strongman since 2003, it's 2020 now, the world's longest fucking year on record. I've tried so many different types of farmer's handles, plate loaded from the front, the top, lead filled, suitcases, solid steel blocks, kegs, everything you can think of that people like me can strap handles to. I think I'd like to think I've tried them all. So when Full Circle says we have a new design, a low profile farmer's walk handle, I was interested because after having tried all of those, I wanted to find out how this was different and it was good for my home gym. I don't want a lot of shit in my home gym taking up space. I'm sure you don't either. I don't want a bunch of scrap steel on my side yard like I'm running a fucking scrap yard. I just want something I can hang on my wall that stays out of the way, that gives me a good workout, is reasonably priced, and if I can do other things with it, like maybe some rows or some swings, then that's a bonus too. So my goal with this video was to test the Full Circle Strength System low profile farmer's walk handle to see what all I could do with it, as well as see if it was sturdy enough to handle some more rigorous training. First, a little bit about the handle itself. This is Schedule 40 pipe made in Williston, North Dakota from a fabricator there. Professionally made, not by a kind of hobbyist. Nothing wrong if you're a hobbyist making equipment, but when I see a piece with really good beads on the welds, really even coverage of the paint, and these little details here like this Full Circle Strength System laser cut dealie at the end of the loading bar, I know I'm working with a real professional company and I have more faith that it's going to be able to handle more rigorous wear and tear from training. So again, Schedule 40 pipe, pretty solid thickness, 1 inch inside diameter on this grip bar here, which leads to about a 1 1/4 or 1 3/8 inch outside diameter. The texture is pretty good. It's just got like a basic black paint on it for preventing rust and keeping a consistent texture. This bar here is about 2 inches wide, about 12.5 inches long, which leads to the loading bar. Your standard 2-inch loading bar, about 10 inches long. Now on my plates at home, I have some Ivanko bumpers, and I'll only be able to fit maybe 3 of those 25 kilo bumpers on there before I have to put a collar on, making the total weight only around 165 to 170 pounds. So I took these handles to Liberation Barbell Club here in Austin, and I wanted to see how much they could hold, what I could do with them, and how much weight I could put on them before they began to bend or otherwise deform a little bit, so I knew what the limits of the handles were. If I had a concern about the design itself, I was a little bit worried that my hand was not going to be able to wrap around the handle because of that center bar. But actually it was pretty comfortable, and I didn't have any problem getting my thumb to lock over my index finger, making a really secure grip. The other problem I had was not a design issue, it was a clay issue. It's trying to get the damn plates on there properly. At first it was a little bit sketchy, not trying to smash my fingers. Then I was like, oh yeah, fucking gravity, duh. That's right, clay, use gravity, it's your friend, it's been keeping you down for years. Now it's working to your advantage. And now my favorite part of the whole thing, how much weight can this take before it will break? I don't want to see if I can break it, but I want to see what the limit of its performance is. I got about 200 kilos on here, 440 pounds, plus the handle itself. So in the event you're doing 400 pounds plus per hand, you might have to rebend these things. To do that, just post it up on the ground, push down, and don't fall on your face like I almost did. There's this great new technology called a wheel that allows you to move these farmer's walk handles to wherever you want them. And then when you're done, you just utilize that same technology, revisit the gravity duh technique, and you can unload those plates really easily. So how much can these carry? Well, I got about 120 pounds in the Rogue bumpers. I got about 230 pounds on the steel 45-pound plates, and up to 445 pounds on the kilo plates. So as you can see from the video, there was quite a lot I was able to do with it. Suitcase carries, farmer's walks, rows, pushes, pulls, tons of grip work, tons of different curl variations. I really like that bunny rabbit curl with the kind of pronated grip, keeping the wrist bent at the same time. That really hit my bicep peak hard and taxed my forearm, so I would recommend trying that one. Is it a good value? Absolutely, it's a good value. They were $145 after shipping. I ordered them on a Sunday and they came to my house on a Thursday. They hang on my wall really nicely, so they're kind of out of the way. They're not collecting rust on the side of the house. I'm not tripping over them. I have a 3-year-old who's fucking insane and will pick them up and do things with them if I'm not out of the way. So they're safe, very versatile here. I could do as many things as I can with dumbbells, kettlebells, or barbells. I think you should get a pair. I think they're a great addition to your home gym, and they're inexpensive enough to where you could have them, buy a pair for your home gym, take a pair to your favorite gym and leave them there. They come in really cheap compared to a lot of others, and the quality is really good. So I highly recommend the Full Circle Strength Systems Farmer's Walk handles. As somebody who's been competing for a long time, getting my ass kicked by really strong people for a long time, but doing well in Farmer's Walk, I can tell you that these are really well-made handles, and I think they're going to last a long time. Now, if I was to make any kind of recommendations on the product, ways to make it better, I might either keep this model exactly as it is, or introduce a heavier duty model for those who are looking to carry, 300 to 400 pounds more in training. For me, I was able to get in a decent workout carrying about 225 pounds per hand and didn't feel any kind of give or flex in the handles for those farmer's walk carries. However, if I was training for a competition in which I had to carry maybe 350 pounds per hand, I'm not sure that I'd be able to do that on these handles for very long before they needed to get rebent back into position. You saw from the video earlier when I hit 440 or 445 on the two-handed lift that they begin to bend a little bit. And I just know that after bending and rebending steel so many times, it gets a little bit softer and is unable to keep its shape. So I don't want to have that happen as often as possible. So if I'm going to make recommendations on how to make a heavier duty option, it could be to either put a little spine down the back of the vertical support bar. It could make that vertical support bar a little bit bigger, maybe using a TIG welder instead of a MIG welder. A few small upgrades that might warrant another $20 in cost, but I would gladly pay $20 to $50 more knowing that I have some indestructible handles that will handle 500 pounds on these straddle lifts or even more. I use a lot of these heavy two-handed lifts for overload stuff for my grip strength, and if I know I have something like this that's going to hold 500, 600, 700 pounds, I'll gladly pay another $50 for a pair of handles like that. So fantastic for a home user. I think most people are going to get a lot of use out of this. If you're doing regular farmer's carries for a competition that involve 330, 350 or more, these might not be, I'm not sure, tell me otherwise, mention Lacey, these might not be a good long-term solution. However, if you just want some farmer's walk handles to do some general conditioning with, up to about 330, 350 per hand, these are fantastic. You really can't beat the price, the delivery, supporting really good people, and look how much space it takes up in your garage. It's barely even noticeable back there compared to the rest of the fucking shit show I have back here. I highly recommend them. Check them out, fullcirclestrengthsystems.com.